A new Wordle puzzle is online. Click on the link to play.
Listening to the following video may give you clues. Please like and share the videos.
The first solar eclipse of 2022 occurs today. The first solar eclipse of 2022 will take place today at 8:44 a.m.
Eastern Time. Where will you see the eclipse? In central Texas, central New England, and western and central Canada, you'll see a total eclipse near moonrise.
In many locations, however, the eclipse will end before moonrise. Here are the times when totality is most likely to occur in your location.
Path of Totality. The path of totality for the first solar eclipse of 2022 is approximately 23,000 miles long and will cross most of the contiguous US.
On April 30, 2022, the eclipse will start at about 1845 Universal Time, UT, when the new moon appears to cross the Sun.
It will reach its maximum obscuration of 54 at 2041. The eclipse's maximum path will pass through the Drake Passage, the Pacific Ocean, and Far Eastern Asia.
From the maritime provinces, the eclipse will pass entirely over the Pacific Ocean. The path of totality of the first solar eclipse of 2022 will cover approximately a third of the contiguous United States and Canada.
It will start in Mexico before moving across Texas before exiting the continent over Newfoundland. The path of totality of this eclipse will be wider than the path of totality of the 2017 eclipse, and it will cover a wider area than the previous one.
The first partial phase will last just over 3 minutes before the moon's shadow begins striking Earth. The moon's shadow will be about 380 miles wide and 600 kilometers long.
The moon will pass over James Bay and the southern Hudson Bay, then cross the Hudson Strait and into Nunavut, Canada's most northern territory. It is important to note that the path of totality will not cross the Atlantic Ocean.
Path of totality in Illinois. A partial solar eclipse will be visible from anywhere in the United States on Monday, April 8.
However, to see a total solar eclipse, you need to be within the path of totality, which will span those from west to east.
Illinois will be within the path, as will Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, and New York. The path will also pass over eastern Canada.
The path will be visible for approximately 4 minutes and 28 seconds on April 8, 2024. The path of totality for this eclipse will encircle a broad region from Oregon to South Carolina, passing through cities such as Carbondale, Illinois.
Observers who are at these locations will be able to see the eclipse, which is an event worth seeing regardless of your background. While the path of totality is not always easy to see, it is still worth seeing.
A total solar eclipse is a rare event in the United States, and the Illinois location is no exception. In the summer of 2017, a partial eclipse spanned the contiguous United States, including parts of California, Oregon, Texas, Illinois, Kentucky, Missouri, Ohio, New York, Canada, and easternmost Alaska.
This year's event is expected to surpass the last one in history, so if you want to witness it, make sure to plan ahead and make sure that you are able to see it. Path of totality in New England.
The path of totality is located in northern New England. You can see it from the peaks of Mount
Katahdin or Stowe in Vermont. If you are driving, be prepared for the traffic that will occur.
People will be in a rush to find viewing glasses, so plan your trip accordingly. Here are some tips for safely traveling through the path of totality.
On the morning of April 8, 2022, there will be a partial solar eclipse visible in the contiguous United States and Canada. This event is partially obscuring the sun and will last for less than 2 minutes.
This partial eclipse will begin around sunrise in New York City and Boston, Massachusetts, and will reach as far north as Newfoundland and Ontario. The path of totality will go over parts of 14 states.
Many people in the path of totality enjoyed the last few moments of the event. A flock of seagulls called out, "It's total," as it was partially obscured by clouds.
As darkness fell and the eclipse path extended, a chorus of cheers broke out among the crowd. Tina Foster, a resident of Maine, was nearly in tears as she surveyed the view from her front porch.
Path of totality in Central Texas. The path of totality for the first solar eclipse of 2022 will stretch from central Texas to northern New England, with the duration of the event averaging just over 4 minutes.
The eclipse will pass through Carbondale, Illinois, a small town that hosted a total solar eclipse earlier this year. In the following paragraphs, we'll explore the path of totality in Texas and other states.
In addition to Dallas, this eclipse will be visible throughout much of central Texas. This will be the second total eclipse visible from the central United States in 7 years, with the first one occurring in Wapakoneta, Ohio.
Whether or not you're in the path of totality depends on the weather and clouds obscuring the sun's path. However, there is no need to panic.
If the totality is clear for your location, you'll enjoy a spectacular view of the eclipse. The second eclipse in 2022 will occur on October
25, 2022. A partial eclipse will be visible across the northern hemisphere.
This eclipse will be visible to parts of northern and eastern Africa, western India, and most of Europe. The greatest eclipse will cover an area that spans 86% of the Sun's diameter.
It will also be visible in parts of the eastern hemisphere, including central Texas and Iceland. Path of totality in southern tip of South America.
The southern tip of South America will be in the path of totality of the 2020 solar eclipse. The path of totality will stretch from Saavedra, Chile, to Salina del Ije, Argentina.
The path of totality is 56 miles wide, and a person standing directly at its center will experience a total eclipse that lasts approximately 2 minutes and 10 seconds. People outside of the path of totality will still see a partial eclipse.
The path of totality for the 2019 eclipse will be similar to the path for today's event, but the Moon's shadow will track 300 miles farther south and cross northern Patagonia. The eclipse in Chile took place in late afternoon, when the sun was high in the sky.
Although the path of totality will be similar to today's, it's still important to wear appropriate eye protection. Fortunately, a number of organizations have offered webcasts allowing viewers to watch the eclipse from the comfort of their homes.
A total solar eclipse happens every 18 months when the Moon and the Sun align. This event casts a narrow shadow across Earth.
Located in the southern tip of South America, the path will cross central Chile and Argentina. The path of totality for this year's eclipse will be nearly identical to that of the 2017 eclipse.
This eclipse will fall over the southern Pacific Ocean and parts of South America, including Chile, Argentina, and southern California. Precautions for pregnant women.
There are some precautions that pregnant women should take during the first solar eclipse of 2022, including staying indoors during the totality. Experts say that solar eclipses are particularly unlucky for pregnant women because they can affect the fetus.
They say that solar eclipses can cause abnormalities in the fetus. During the eclipse, pregnant women should avoid going outside, eating, drinking, or wearing any metallic items.
It is not dangerous to be outdoors during the eclipse, but pregnant women should avoid sharp objects and certain metals. Even though the eclipse is not harmful to the fetus, it is still best to avoid it during pregnancy.
Pregnant women should avoid sharp objects such as knives and metals like glass and iron. For the final eclipse of 2022, no countries in India will be able to see it.
The first solar eclipse of 2022 will begin at 12:15 am on April 30 and last for about 4 hours. It will be visible in South, West and Pacific America, as well as in Antarctica.
During this time, pregnant women should avoid performing sexual activities or exercising. It is also advisable to avoid using sharp objects or taking a bath during the eclipse period.